Who you really are is already everything you've been searching for until now. You are already whole. There is nothing missing. Jamie Smart, Transformational Coach. I'm Stephen Middleton, coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, and I will. I am Possibility Man. Today, I want to share on the theme Beyond Positive Thinking. But first, a reminder, if you have not gone over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I have put a link below this video, and hop on over to YouTube and subscribe, and you'll get notice when I publish new content. Now back to our share, Beyond Positive Thinking. I've been chewing on this for several weeks now, and a couple of days ago, I published our first installment of Beyond Positive Thinking. Today we want to explore part 2, and you're going to hear me chew on this from my lived experience. I don't want to share this as if I'm an expert, as if I've already figured this out, or telling you something that you should be doing, and I am not walking this out in my own life. So you'll share with me as I articulate what I am experiencing now. Well, firstly, as I said last time, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, with his famous book, The Power of Positive Thinking, articulated this notion of positive thinking. And for many decades into today, you'll hear people say, be optimistic, think positive, focus on the good. And all of those things, I say, are a good way for one to consider living their life. Now, as I reflect, though, on positive thinking, or as Schwartz said in his book, The Magic of Thinking Big, it seems kind of forceful. It means that we have to force ourselves. We have to try harder. As Tony Robbins wrote in his book, Unleash the Giant Within. It's as if we got to roar because we have to make it all happen. In Beyond Positive Thinking, I see it as more gentle. Perhaps the movie The Wizard of Oz that was made many decades ago had it right. Do you remember the 3 primary actors? The lion, the scarecrow, and the bear? What the lion discovered is that the thing that he wanted most was a heart. And at the very end of the movie, the lion discovered that he had a heart all the time. If he was missing anything, it was simply recognition that he didn't have a ticker. And of course, the wizard gave him a clock so that he could have a ticker to remind him that the thing that he wanted, he had all the time. The scarecrow wanted a brain. He wanted wisdom. He thought that his head was empty. Now, throughout the movie, the scarecrow over and over again exhibited that he was someone of great wisdom, that he was someone of knowledge. So then the wizard told him, what you need then is a certificate, a piece of paper, your sheepskin, to remind you that the thing that you were searching for, you had it all the time. And of course there was, I believe it was the tiger, wasn't it? It was a tiger, I believe it was, or a bear, who wanted courage. Now he had exhibited courage throughout the movie, but he somehow didn't feel that he was a courageous beast. So therefore, the wizard then gave him a medal. He posted a medal on the bear's chest to remind him that he had it all the time. And this is what I mean by beyond positive thinking. And I believe that the transformational coach, Jamie Smart, meant the same thing. He said, who you really are is already everything you've been searching for until now. You already are it. You are already whole, Smart writes. There is nothing missing. Well then, as I was suggesting last time, that we are it by default. This is who we are at our core, our nature is completion by default. Now I have a couple of computers, computer, laptop, and one of my computers was exhibiting some problems some time back. And with my computer, there is a setting that you can actually hit it and the computer returns to factory. It returns to the state that it was in when you purchased it from the factory. And all of its previous settings are wiped out. Any files that you have in this computer are gone. The computer returned to its natural state. Now, I know this sounds like a stretch, but I think, though, that what some of these writers and teachers like Jamie Smart, Mavis Karn, Dr. Bill Pettit, Dr. Dick Bettinger, and others are saying is that a human being functions in the same way. We have a default setting. I love the way Mavis Karn put it. She was talking with someone, and the person says, I want more confidence. And she would say, well, you already have that. It's your default setting. So what may be missing then is an insight that we already have it, an insight that is already there. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I remember when I got a job at North Carolina State University back in, I got the job in 1989, but back in the early 90s, I was thinking about a book subject. I was really stressing out about, what book am I going to write, how long is it going to take me, because I have to go from assistant professor to associate professor with tenure. And, these things were really kind of troubling me. I walked into the library, and sure enough, an insight dropped into my being. And it was simply this: you can write a book like this one. That's the thought that showed up for me. Just this week, I had another experience. I was in my living room. I was doing something else in my house, and I was expecting someone to come to the door, but I hadn't unlocked the door. Wisdom spoke to me and said, unlock the rear door. Now, I didn't do it. I dismissed it. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But the point is that wisdom spoke to me and told me what to do. And the same is happening for you. What if then, instead of the force of positive thinking, what if we recognize that we can live in an insight-based world? That we move through life open to an insight about what we may have. Let me read something to you that Sidney Banks wrote in one of his books, The Missing Link, Reflections on Philosophy and Spirit. He wrote in the very first chapter, in the silence of our minds lies creative incubation, bringing the wisdom and the joy we all seek. So therefore, Sidney Banks says that the mind is actually our incubator. And all of the wisdom that we seek is already in us by default. Now, how does that work in real life? How does it work for someone who is seeking a professional career? How does it work for someone who wants to earn more money? It's all insight-based, because your mind is an incubator of all of the things, all of the possibilities that are available to you. I was thinking this morning, okay, how would that work real time? I said, well, suppose someone is an artist and this person doesn't have a contract, with any company to do his art. I said, well, an insight that came to me is that an artist could simply go through anywhere where leaves are changing in the fall, collect some leaves, dry them out, put them together in a nice way so that they don't fall apart because these leaves are brittle, and simply get a nice background and put on the background, hope springs eternal. And immediately I got a visual of that, of a piece of art in a frame with plexiglass covering it. And the artist gently writing the words with leaves, hope springs eternal. And I said I would purchase that piece of art. And I'm sure you would do so as well. What if the same artist, he doesn't have very money and he decides that, something, I want to create other pieces of art. And then he walks around a building that's being destroyed and he sees some carpet on the outside just laying on the ground. What if this artist collects just a sheet of that carpet, takes it home, cleans it up, and then write on some type of background the word love, the word family, the word hope, the word it's possible, and puts it behind plexiglass in a nice frame. I asked myself, would someone buy that? I said, I probably would buy a piece of artwork like that, especially the one that says, it's possible, baby. It's all inside base. And then I said, okay, well, what about someone then who says, something, I don't want to go to college, but I'm good working with my hands. I thought, well, what if that person, gets some training in how to repair small engines? And I thought, well, what if that person says, something, I'm going to become an expert at working on zero-turn lawnmowers. This is my expertise. And what if this person can get broken zero turns from 5 different lawnmowers and rebuild that lawnmower and make it run as efficiently as any new lawnmower? I said, that kind of person will never worry about work again. That's what's an insight that came to me in terms of a possible occupation from someone who wanted one. But the same applies to anyone, from the individual who says, I want to become a surgeon. That individual, more likely than not, will begin to play with utensils, will begin to have an interest in science and math, will be somehow gravitated to chemistry, to biology, to physics at an early age. And that individual will somehow discover that something, medical school is for you. I was talking with a 13-year-old girl just a few days ago. I'd met her before, so it wasn't our first encounter. And I asked her, what do you want to be when you grow up? Of course, if you talk with a teacher who wants to engage with young people, that's a reasonable question to ask. And the girl said to me, I don't know. I said, you don't think about anything when you think about going forward in your life? She said, no, I don't think about anything. I'm not sure if that's true. But then I said to her, just see what you're curious about. Just take a look at what interests you. Just take a look at what shows up for you. Take a look at what smiles for you, because believe it or not, that individual has something by default that's right for her. One of the problems that people face is that they get into the wrong occupation. They get into things that are not right for them, and then they try to fight their way through. They try to force their way through. And then they have all of this stress and anxiety because they are in something that's not right for them. But I am suggesting here in Beyond Positive Thinking that you can always know what's right for you. Live in an insight-based world. I have that experience right now. I somehow have this feeling that I want to participate with the tens of thousands of people around the world who are sharing in videos, who are writing books, who are making all kinds of audios and podcasts, suggesting to people ways to live a richer life. I care about individuals, for example, who have experienced anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and I want to say that our health is innate, that we have it by default, and all we need is an insight to uncover it. I am interested in supporting people who want to make more money. I think making money is a good thing. In fact, I enjoy making money. And I'm telling you, before I retired from my professional career, I decided that, something, I had the insight. I want to become a loan officer and do mortgage closings for mortgage companies and title companies all across the United States. I became a notary public. I became a certified licensed a loan signing agent, and believe it or not, even though I do no longer live in Mississippi, where was the Notary Public? I no longer live in North Carolina, where was the Notary Public? I still get communications from title companies all over the United States who still see my information that I am a loan signing agent. The insight is available to us. Now I know that especially today with COVID-19 going around, a lot of people feel a little strain. I know that in life, people make mistakes and some people suffer for them. But I have good news for you. And this is what I'm suggesting about going beyond positive thinking. I know that you are complete now. And I want to share this version of a song with you. You are complete, I know. Oh, you are complete, I know. Strong winds may come, strong storms may rise, but I'll tell the world wherever I go. You're complete now. Oh, you're complete now. Hum it with me. You're complete now. Oh, you are complete now. That's what I know. And that's what I mean by going beyond positive thinking. Recognizing that you can live in an insight-based world. I'm Stephen Middleton, coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, and I will. I am Possibility Man. Until next time, good day